Hello, beautiful sister Amanda. I want to say thank you and that it is a deep honor that you have allowed me to do an intuitive reading for you. It's a deep bow and a deep thank you from my heart to yours. The way I do this reading is that I am become a conductor from the cosmic space. So using that heart open space to connect to the cosmos and channel what would be a cosmic heart or cosmic love language or from the angels. So I tap into that energy. It all comes from an open wide heart and a open expansive cosmic space. So please, I have a bit of a head cold, but we'll persevere because there's so much to say. So we'll go through the reading, and then at the end I will draw a card from the Wild Kuan Yin deck for you, and we'll have a bit of a hopefully that will just tie it all in, and then I'll do a heart cosmic activation to combine it all and to really have that what has been spoken just go into your heart and to just sit in your whole body and just become the embodiment of what is being said. So I hope you get a lot out of it and that it's relevant. And again, thank you. Thank you. I thank you. I thank you. So I'll start by calling in the angel of wild heart, angel of the wild heart, cosmic angel of the wild heart. I call you in. I call our power animals to be with us, our well and healed ancestors. I call in the plant folk who have been very chatty and have a lot to say. I call in all the beautiful light beings, cosmic beings, and all kindred who come with a open heart and kind heart to help guide me through Amanda Fisher's half an hour intuitive talk. And I call in you, Amanda Fisher, Amanda Fisher. Ah, dear sister, you are the bridge between the plant folk and the human folk. You are here to be the messenger for them, on behalf of them, to speak on behalf of them. They have much to say, and you are the one to deliver that message to the world. They are deeply humbled and very excited that you are able to hear them and to really understand their language and feel their hearts and feel their souls. There's not many people in the world that can do what you do, and it's almost like they're really wanting you to step more and more and more into this work because the world needs it now. The plants need you now, the trees need you now to speak on their behalf. I see you standing in a forest, but in this particular forest there's a tree that you're standing under that's been illuminated by the sun. It's there, it's looking down on you, and it loves you very, very, very much. As all trees look upon you and they love you very, very, very much. You're sitting down at the base reading a book. You're taking it, and then you start writing. You're writing on behalf of what this tree has to say, how to look after it and what it needs. And now I see you standing on a podium, talking to hundreds of people speaking what you heard under that tree. People are listening very carefully because you are the one who is the bridge between the trees and the humans, and all the people know this, and they are turning to you to be guided on how to be the caretakers of the trees so we could all live in peace and harmony. It feels really critical, this, actually. There's a lot of energy that runs through this scene, and it feels like it's a now. And not only do you stand on this podium with your children, but you stand on this podium for your great-grandchildren and your great-great-great-children, and all the generations of your lineage going before you. And then you stand there with the ancestors behind you. They are holding you. They know that this is important work, critical work. But you are speaking on behalf of the trees and the generations to come. This is how important it is. You are held, dear sister. You are held so deeply by the deepest of all roots, by the expansion of all branches out and up. To be brave, to be the spokesperson. I see you walking down a path. It's a really happy scene. The light is shining on the path. It's like a golden path. And you have children around you, not just your own, but many. So maybe this is a path of not just for your lineage, but for everybody's lineage to come through. And you're walking up to this, it looks like a castle, but it's not a castle. It's like a place of great significance. It's really bright and light. It's the sunlight shining on this one particular spot, sending all its energy down, and the energy from the earth is coming up. It's like this beam of light coming from the base of the earth, so the center of the earth, that golden ball that we talk about, and it goes up and then it comes down and it meets this point. So you and the children are walking up this path that's lit and going into this space. It's not a structure as such, but it's a place where it's like more than home. It's more like an energy filler for you. And it's like fully stepping into your light. And when you're fully stepping into your light, it's like that full connection that you have from the earth and from above. And it's just there, and it's filling you up to no end. So even though at times you may feel drained, or the energy is really low, especially it feels like because the children around you, and murmuring toughness that can just really feel like it's zapping your energy, to know that the path you're walking on is actually leading into this point of two light streams of full energy that's going to hold you wherever you go, and to trust in that path that you're taking even when it feels hard, and to know that once you reach, move into that trusting that the lights will meet you and the energies will meet you fully, that you're just gonna, it's just the beam of love, heart, love, golden light. It's really, 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 really bright. But it's the trust in the walk, the path, with all the children around you and all the, all the stuff around you, and to know that each step you take, the roots underneath those trees that are everywhere, to look at those trees and to know the roots are holding you and the branches are holding you as well into, as you walk this path into this brilliant golden light, sister. There's such a beam, and it's a hill, so it's like you have, it's like the walking the hill. It's like, oh God, it can be tricky, but to know that that's what's coming, and that's the top, is just like this radiant light beam. And once you're there, it's going to just feel so easeful to, to then deeper connect into, what you need to do in this lifetime, which is to be the gap between the plants and the humans, and to speak on their behalf. Yeah. Yeah. I see you now in like a really lush jungle space. It's, you're almost like a queen lying there, and there's the big tropical leaves, and they're sort of all around you, and you're in like almost like a jungle, like a I wouldn't say, it feels funny to say it, like a Tarzan girl. I don't know, like a leopard print bikini, but sort of, almost tribal space, and you're just sitting in all this lushness. It feels like, you're the queen there, and then, your lovers are just sort of around, and, it's a really lush space. To know that this is where you sit as well. There's so much lushness and beauty, and you're the queen of this. You are the queen. You are in a lush, the lushness and the queenness that sits with you, and the sovereignty of just going, yes, but it's a really relaxed and chilled and, just easeful space. And this feels like it comes, that light, and stepping into that, and that's the next thing, is just the sovereignty and the surety of, what you say and do is just met with this complete lushness of, what would be in, these beautiful jungles that we sit in. I just, it's like someone's like a lover's walking with some grapes in his hand, and feeding you grapes. It's that kind of scene, it's just, such being admired so deeply and loved so deeply by this, and to feel, that sovereignty of beauty, and yeah, it's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. And now I see you walking in, it sounds like the Australian bush, with the leaves crunching behind you, underneath your feet, and the dry, there's a lot of dryness. So we've switched scenes from the lush to the dry. And to know that during these really dry times that we are facing right now, to know that, we just have to think back to the lushness that is actually there for us, but it's not sensed by the eyes. So what you see is not always how it is, and that the lushness is there, that beautiful lush, jungle queen in the rainforest, and having the grapes fed to her, that even if it feels like you're walking in the dry Australian bush that feels like it's about to set fire, to know that, it's not all what it's perceived to be. And again, that trusting the path that you're walking on is that, those beam of lights are there, that's where you're going. That's the trust in the path, even when it feels dry and hot and, it's just like scary, those moments when you are in the bush and it is so hot and you think, this is a dangerous place to be. To trust in that the lushness and the light, the light is where you're heading and the lushness is there for you. We just got to, not dream it into being, but to know that it's there. Don't always trust what you see. And to go back to, just casting your mind back to a lush place and the cool and the lushness. You're a powerful, magical woman, that is just beaming anyway. To know that you have that power to, you are that witch to can call in her magical powers, to use her, what sees beyond the realms, third eye-ness, to see that lush jungle sovereignty that is actually there for you. And it could, and I'm just almost thinking that, your witchness, using those seeing beyond the realm spaces, and to not just knowing it's there for you, but to knowing it's there for everyone and everything, and to, and if you're feeling that really dryness and that trickiness around the scariness of, fuck, this is dangerous place to be in, calling that in and calling it in for everyone and everything. It's like that collective, what happens within is without, is around, is below and above. Okay, so to know that when you are calling in the lushness and the sovereignty that you want for yourself, that you're doing it for everyone around you and everything around you, because you're a powerful woman. That witch is strong. She is strong. Yeah. Yeah, I can see the ocean now. I'm sitting by the ocean, and you're playing sandcastles with your kids, and it feels like a really fun space to be in. When you're in those spaces, when you're in those moments that you think, oh my goodness, just be there. Don't worry about anything else. Don't worry about money. Don't worry about anything else. Just to really be present in those moments and to go, this is what I want. So anytime that you're in those moments of, the pure joy and beauty, especially with the children and especially at the ocean is like the waves are coming up to you and they're wanting to play. Those moments of play. So when you find yourself in those moments of play, really take note of that and call that in and say, these moments of play. And the more you'll notice, the more you do that, these moments of play, that will be what will come in. And your children look so happy that you are there playing, and the ocean is so happy that you are there playing, and the trees are so happy that you are there playing. The joy that, when you are joyful, when you're in your joyful space, all that around you is joy and is the joy as well. So, the ocean will feel the joy and will be joyful. The plants will be joy, see the joy, feel the joy and be joyful. Your children will definitely be, totally in the joy and joyful. And I sort of go from that scene back to the crunching of the dry leaves, and to know that, again, when you're feeling that crunchiness and walking up the hill and it all feels tricky, to know that it's like a very temporary thing, and that you have the power to change it any time, even though it might seem hard and dry and hot and dangerous. yeah, but the sitting in the joy seems like a really, really important thing to do. Yeah. As if, yeah, and the more that you sit in that joy, or call the joy in, or recognize the joy, it's like it's the manifestation, the key that you're calling in. It's like, oh, here's the joy again, right? Oh, here's the joy again. It's like that paying attention to the things that you want and the things that you don't want, to hold it and to go, shit, okay, I can see it, but what is it that I want is the contrast. So acknowledging the dry, hard bits and then send them love, but to say, what is the opposite of what I want from this? It's like that whole experiencing the pain to experiencing knowing what you are wanting in opposite to that. It's like that is a law of attraction, or the contrast, to know that the dry bits are going to be there and the hill is going to be there because the light is on top of the hill, and we've got to get up to that's that whole moment. But to know that the lushness and the joy is there, and the more that you focus your attention on that, the more that's what's going to come in, and to maybe help the branches, to for you to see the branches to step on, to lift you up to the top of the hill. Yeah, instead of having to trudge it up by yourself. And to know, God, to know that the magic is abound around you, because you are that powerful witch and you are tapping into the hidden realms or the more than human, that's so strong in you. And to know that that's just there for you. You don't have to do much work to be in that, on that top of the hill, or to be that lush sovereign jungle woman. That's who you are inherently. And just to know that you're so held. You're so held, dear sister. It's such a beauty. It's such a beauty way that you live, and and when you live the beauty way, the beauty responds back to you. Yeah. And seeing you on the back of that podium again, and I feel this is really important, that if you're ever in doubt of where you need to head into your life, or career wise or whatever, that it's being that connector between the plant world and the human world, and to be a spokesperson for that feels such an important thing to do for us all, for this planet. And just to know that you're deeply, deeply, deeply loved. You're so loved and so held. People listen to you. You are, and that's again another reason why that direction of bridging the gap between the plant world and the human world, because people love and respect you, and you're not just another person up there telling people what to do, because you sit in that heart space, and because of the witchy magic that you have around you, people feel the holding that you have around you, and they feel held in your presence. So it's like they will really listen to you. And it's not just a podium thing. It feels like a politician thing, but I hate that, because the framework that we have for politicians is sickening. But it's like it's almost like the people are really listening to you, because they know that you are the bridge between the plants and the humans. And so they really want to know. They really, really want to know how to look after, how, to be of service to the plants of this world. And you are the one to tell them. And not in an ego way, but a complete heart space centered way. And people feel that in you. You know, there's nothing to say in you that you're coming from a place of that you know it all. It's really purely from the heart. And that is, you know, that's why the plants have chosen you to be that spokesperson. That's why they, you know, they speak. They want to speak to you so loudly. Because you come from that pure heart space and sovereignty, and they know that, you know, you are true and authentic, and that you see them, you know, you see the beauty of them, you see the true nature of what plants and trees are. You know, you see that they are connected to source. And the more that you are in the source energy, so that heart, you know, that light beam I spoke to you about on top of that hill, so the more that you sit in there and to trust that process and just, you know, just know that, you know, everything is working out how it should be, and you just keep listening and just keep being present. That's when you're connected to source, when you are present, and the more you're able to relay the message, and the deeper you can go with it, and the deeper you can go with the humans around you who are listening to what you have to say. Yeah. But part of that is being in the joy. So being in the, you know, being connected to source is, you know, about the joy as well. So, you know, the more you can be in that with your children, because they're connected to source, you know, and the more that you can play with the ocean or play with the trees or play with the forest, or, you know, even if you're doing the school run and you're sort of rushing around, and just glance up the trees and just send them a kiss of joy, you know, and they'll, you know, you'll feel that come back to you immediately. You know, so the more that you can be in those spaces, the more that you're connected to source, and the more, you know, the deeper the relationship you will have with both the more than human and the human, and the more you'll bridge that gap. And, you know, it's just, the world needs you, Amanda Fisher. They really need you. And you're just a light beam of beauty and joy and sovereignty. Just keep doing what you're doing, and to trust the process, and to know that you are held and deeply loved and so friggin' amazing. So amazing you are. Yeah. Wow. Sister, that was incredible. You are a light beam. That was so I'll just draw a card for you. From the Wild Kuan Yin deck. I'm speechless after that. Yeah. I hope that you got a lot out of that. It was such a beautiful journey for me to take. So, a card for you, dear sister, from the Wild Kuan Yin deck. Let's summon all this up. Grandmother Dragonfly holds the wisdom. So I'll just read the first little bit of it, and I'll take a photo to send you the rest of the description of this card. Hmm. 39. Grandmother Dragonfly holds the wisdom. I take delight in life, particularly the life that is unexpected, where new life springs from old, that which seems to have ended and is resurrected into new form. I am bringing you a resurrection now, that which may seem to have end, yet wielded something of value, something of benefit for your life journey and divine success. Keep your heart open, remain in the present moment, so you can enjoy the gifts that will soon be resting in the palms of your hands. And we'll end up our time together with a heart activation, a cosmic heart activation. So if you take a moment just to get comfortable and take a few deep breaths. So I'm just going to, this language for me comes through really, really quick because I'm connecting to my star ancestors, and it's not a language, not an English language, so it might sound a bit funny, but just again, let's really trust this process and just listen and just allow it just to wash over you, allow it to enter your heart and just feel your body. So this will ground all that we just said and have it come into your heart and just throughout your body. So just taking a few deep breaths. Amana, amani, amana, amani, amani, amana, amani, amana, amana, amani, 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 honey, amani, harmony, 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 harmony. I'm so sorry. Harmony, 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 harmony. Harmony, harmony, harmony. Harmony, 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 harmony. Love, 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 love. You are 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 loved. 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 Thank you, sister. What a deep honor that was. I hope that made sense, and if not, it will unfold, and that you are loved, sister. I love you. Thank you. From my heart to your heart, I send you so much joy, the joy that you deserve, and the peace and the beauty that you are. May you see it and feel it. Thank you.